Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Welcome to The Social, everybody. So happy to have you with us. We'd like to welcome back digital creator and host of the podcast, Adam Wilde and Jax. Jax Irwin is here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so
Great
much.
to have you back.
Yes,
Great to have you back.
A sunny summer day. I'm so excited to be here. And the audience looks so sunny.
Yeah, they are. Well, listen, lots of news happening across the world and in this country. Right now, G7 leaders, well, some of them, are meeting for a final day in Alberta. There is a notable absence. U.S. President Donald Trump. Yeah. Well, that was yesterday because Trump left Kananaskis early yesterday, saying he has to go back to Washington to deal with the situation unfolding in the Middle East. So we wanted to start with the question, what do we make of Trump's early exit? Bye.
I mean, well, the last time he was here, he left in a massive huff. So I think this is an improvement. Because he wasn't angry when he was leaving. I can't help but wonder if he was in a little bit trying to avoid some awkward conversations. Like the president of Mexico is going to be there as someone as +1 or is here already. He hasn't even
Zelensky is there today.
Zelensky's there today. Like there are a lot of people he is trying to kind of avoid. He hasn't spoken to
it's
yet.
It's all good to punch people in the mouth until you have to face them.
Until you have to face them, exactly.
Right?
The one thing I did find a little bit cringe, and I wonder how you guys feel about it, and I wonder if it could have been handled differently. I don't know if you saw this footage of the entire G7 all standing outside and the mountains in the background, and then reporters were sort of pummeling Trump with questions, and this is what happened.
We had just a really great relationship with everybody, and it's really nice. I wish I could stay for tomorrow, but they understand.
Is there a reason,
big,
Mr. President,
this is big
that you can't do your business
Do you have
from
questions
here?
for anybody else?
Is there a reason that you can't do your business
Well,
from
please,
here? Is there a reason you can't do your business from here, sir?
Okay, so right, you heard him say that, right? Do you have any questions for anyone else? Does any part of you wish that people had just not asked him any questions at all? Like, imagine the impact. Maybe one off the top, if everyone after that just ignored him. What are the ramifications if that man starts getting ignored? Could that put him in his place?
He's got too much power.
I don't know. We give him that power, guys.
Well,
We're always
no, it's America,
focusing on
United
him.
States.
You're right.
Yeah.
I like to see him have tantrums sometimes, though, so I can say, this is evidence of what we're dealing with here. And honestly, I know he's gone, but any excuse not to have him in the country is a good one for me. That
He is a criminal.
Fine, exactly,
criminal.
exactly. And that's fine with me. And I feel like it's one of those situations where it's like, oh, you gotta go. I got a place to be. Like when you're at a party and then you just kind of start making up excuses. The exit seemed very kind of like chunky and kind of odd. And I just, like I said, any excuse not to have him. But also, I don't think we can also you can't make logical sense out of somebody who isn't logical nor makes sense, right? So us trying to figure out what's going on with him is the definition of insanity sometimes.
So we don't think he left for a legitimately good reason, which is
maybe
Israel-Iran war breaking out.
It's peace.
I do.
I do.
You do. Yeah, I think that's why he left. Actually, Canadian officials knew beforehand, before we were notified that he was leaving, that there was a possibility that he was going to leave, because he posted a very ominous message online just before he left, urging everybody in Tehran to evacuate. Because right now, if you're not sure what's going on, Israel is trying to eradicate Iran's nuclear facilities programs. They've already bombed them. They've assassinated a number of the people who are affiliated with that nuclear program. And so Donald Trump, when he was on Air Force One, actually told reporters that this is his new goal for Iran to shutter its nuclear facilities entirely unless Israel destroys it first. He also said that we're not looking for a ceasefire. Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. And even though the U.S. says they're not involved, and this is between those two countries, he did actually get his jets, the U.S. jets, to refuel and told the carrier, the second carrier, to get a little closer to the region. So they're not directly involved, but they are keeping a close eye. So he says that he left so he could be in the Situation Room so that he could be there if things go off. And he also warned Iran that if there's any retaliation to the United States, of course, in Donald Trump style, he will come down even harder on them. So they did have that. He did have that reason for leaving.
It could be legit. Here's the thing for me. I think Donald Trump, since his first presidency, has been on a steady train to remove the United States from any normalcy and any normal relations with any other country in the rest of the world. This is just a follow-up to what you said happened in 2018, which was this big huff and a puff. If you look at the long list of things that Donald Trump has pulled out of, the World Health Organization, the Paris Climate Accord, trade with, Pacific and Asian countries, like, he's been steadily saying he's the lone wolf. He doesn't want to be at the G7 by the looks of it. He doesn't even want to be there. The body language said it all.
Yes.
I'm at a party I don't want to be at. It was very perhaps convenient or legitimate that he left. But to me now, the G7 can actually get to business.
Yeah.
To me, what happens next is this. Everybody was saying when Trump is at the G7, it's not about getting business done, it's about managing a man. It's about walking on eggshells. Now that he's there, the adults can get to business.
Yeah.
And you know what the adults are saying? The other adults in the room, Germany, Japan, Italy, Canada, Germany, all these countries, they can finally say what the whole world is saying. We must figure out how to move forward without America. Let's get to business. So I'm okay that he's not there anymore, guys. Yeah. I'm okay with it, actually.
Yeah.
I am.
All right. We've given him enough airtime.
Yes,
Let's move on to the next one. Speaking of making the best out of a bad situation, check out these toilet flowers. You heard me correctly, toilet flowers. This lady being called Martha Stewart.
Oh my gosh.
Says she's says it's a nice Phuket, not a bouquet, a Phuket will leave your guests speechless. That, she's not wrong. So Jack, since you are a guest, and we should throw the questions to you first. Do Phukets elevate a bathroom and the vibe, or is this a absolute no?
I gotta say that segue and that pivot was just brilliant, just glorious. That was a beautiful
one
bouquet of
crap
flowers.
situation to another. Yeah.
Just elegant right there. I love flowers, I love color, I love, the spirit of floral things in any sort of room, but this is messy. And when I zoomed in on the picture when we were chatting, about it via email before, I thought, I can see the leaves on the ground. And that would drive me crazy. That would drive, just thinking about the foliage falling onto the bathroom floor, and it's too much. And I love a little, zhuzhing up of anything, but not the back of the toilet. Come on now. Like, it's too much. It also, in a weird way, if you went the fake route of flowers, it reminds me of my nanny's bathroom in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, Nanny had those fake flowers, and I didn't like them, but no, not for me. No, thank you, no.
You like this, Sid?
Cynthia, you are not going to defend this.
No.
Here's the thing. I saw this clip on the weekend, and I have to say, I laughed out loud. It brought me so much joy. So she's doing something right. I'm not saying that this would be from my bathroom, but I would beg you, like, if any of you were at someone's house and you went upstairs to go use the toilet and you saw this, would it not put a smile on your face? It would. Even if you were just laughing about it, it would. Plus, I think that we have to, put it into context. Like, imagine if we were down, at a public washroom at a restaurant, like an edgy restaurant downtown that's usually kind of filthy. You might be like, this is kind of a nice touch. Just admit it. You kind of low-key like it. It's going to depend. It's going to depend on the type of flower.
No. I love when Cynthia wants us to decide. She's like, come on, admit it.
Come on.
You like it.
Come on. So in the trailer for their new show, a power couple, Nelly and Ashanti, reveal that they never thought that they would be back together again. Okay. Hate is a pretty strong word, but could you date someone that you used to hate, or that you at one point in time?
I have to say, first of all, I love that power duo. Ashanti was one of my first crushes, and the fact that, early Murder Inc. days, it's all coming back together. And if you're looking at me like you are, you have no idea those 2005 days. So I'll keep moving on. I think hate is such a strong word, and the way that they say it with such conviction. I was doing the math, and Nelly's about 50 now. He would have been mid-30s when they first started dating, and I feel like I could maybe get back with somebody that I dated in my teens or early 20s, because when you say you hate that person, maybe you're not old enough to realize you just weren't working through it. However, at 35, Ashanti and Nelly fully hating each other. I'm like, what went wrong there? And are these resentments going to carry over?
Right.
Because that's what I worry about. But they also have a ton of money. which means a ton of good couples counseling, right? So
Right.
I think we'll be able to work through whatever. I also just, you know what? It's a lot of sadness in the world, and to see two like incredible artists get back together, I'm like, all right, guys, thank you. Now I want a song.
Thank you.
Now can we have a song?
Yes,
Let's go.
please.
Let's go.
Yeah, they make circling the block look good, even though I'm against it. Once I've been there and done that, I'm not going back. But you know, as you mentioned, they met in 2003, dated until 2013. They actually were nominated for Grammys in that year that they met, and he like was really cute with her and asked her for her autograph, and that's how that all got started. And you're right, I think there's something to do with the age that they were at, and maybe they were just, you know, can you imagine your star is just rising, you're in this cute relationship, but then you have all these groupies, you've got all this money. I'm sure it was a little confusing, but the one thing that I think we should all pay attention to, they may have hated each other, but they always respected each other. When they broke up, the one thing, because everybody talks about when they broke up, one thing they never did was talk badly about each other in a song or in any interview.
That's true.
So that respect was there. So once that hate dies down, if there's not some memory of some horrible song or, you know, some kind of interview that went viral, I think it's easier for you to kind of mend fences and go, you know what, we were young, we made mistakes, but we were always respectful of each other. And I think that's why they can come back together, and everybody loves these two back together.
So do you think then there was probably no cheating or
We
infidelity?
don't know that because they haven't been. They've
Nelly
used
is
the
a
word
Scorpio man.
betrayal.
There was probably, I can't say for sure, but he was a hip hop artist who was huge at the time. There was a lot of guys in his group and a lot of women backstage, and we saw those Hot in Her videos. I'm sure he made a friend here or there, and it probably just wasn't a good time to have a very serious relationship where you're never in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think the reason why you would use the word hate is going to determine if you can actually get back together again
That's
later.
what I wonder.
Right? Like, if, you know, I dated a Scorpio man and he cheated and I hated him. I really did. But you know what's the other side? To me, if you use the word hate, it means because you still harbor love. The pain is because you love them so hard. And so the hate is because someone you love has hurt you. The opposite of love is, I don't care about you.
Yes.
Is actually, like, not thinking about them is the opposite. So the fact that they said hate, it means, like, what did he do? What did she do that the word hate?
still that energy.
That there's energy, right? Am I right?
But she also did the textbook thing where she always kept it cute. She was always professional, but every time they were in like an award show together, she would always look so good. And I'm like, that's how you kill your ex, with kindness.
Yes.
Remind him what he left, and now he's
I
back.
don't have a lot of hope for this couple, though, I will say.
You don't think you're gonna make it?
I love them together, and I wish them the best, but statistically, it's not looking good. There was a survey done with about 5,000 people aged
Don't they have a
18
child coming?
Yeah, no,
to
they already had a
55,
baby.
and they have a
They had a
child.
baby.
32% of exes who get back together again, of them, only 18% have stayed together for longer than a year.
Oh, God.
So the stats aren't great. There's a reason why you fell out of love, and most time, even like you think about Melanie, what's her name, Griffith and Don Johnson. Remember, they were a famous couple who went away, they broke up, and they got back together again. They were together
For this
years.
generation, Dakota Johnson's parents.
Thank you.
Okay, for
Mother
this
of the generation.
So
Anyway, they eventually broke up again too. So I just think it's not necessarily the way.
I'm glad you said that. So for all the exes who are in my DMs, you hear the stats, it's not going to work. So get out.
Get out.
Keep it moving. All right. Speaking of keeping it moving, let's talk about my girl, Mariah Carey. She recently sat down for an interview with a UK radio station, and it's kind of a wonder she made it there on time. Take a look at what she had to say.
Mariah, is it true you don't acknowledge the passing of time?
That is true.
What do you mean by that?
I just don't believe in it.
What, but do you mean time zones or?
No, just time.
Just time. Time, so no clocks?
No.
No, just not into that.
Yeah, I don't, let it go.
All right, typical Mariah, she also said that she doesn't have a birthday. Whatever, so do you admire this approach to time and aging? Or is she Delulu?
Is she Delulu? You know, at first you laugh. Like, that's funny to say, like, I don't acknowledge birthdays. It's like, I don't know her.
Well, you
Like, I
technically
don't know
only
her,
have
right?
one birthday. She's not wrong.
You're right. She's not
Just
wrong. but
One birthday.
What they're saying is that year to year to
Right.
year, she's
Right.
not acknowledging the passage of time.
Yes.
And at first you're like, okay, come on, Mariah. But then I just went, you know what? She's absolutely right. You know why? Calendars and time is a human construct. This is related to nothing. We invented the calendar. And you know how we invented the calendar? To follow the Earth's rotation around the sun. That has nothing to do with me.
But wait.
So here's what I'm going to say. My bottom line with her is, age is not a number. Age is an energy. And if she doesn't want to acknowledge that she's getting older, look at her. She looks fabulous. So I'm with her.
Jax and I are like, wait, okay, so tell me you're rich without telling me you're rich. You know who's following that time? The people who work for Mariah are all have to pay attention
that's why
to
she's
time.
saying that.
And if you're rich, you don't have to worry. Everybody's taking her. The world, or everything and everyone in her world revolves around her. That's why she can say these things. And like, I don't know time. Maybe your maid and your driver know time.
Also,
Trust me.
the thing is like, I'm fine with her being on whatever time planet she needs to be, but when you're 90 to 120 minutes late for every other show, that's affecting other people. You know what I mean? So I do admire her. I admire her being on her own kind of zone, but also just don't make it about us as well. So Mariah's doing whatever she wants.
Okay, well, I want to do whatever she's doing. That's for sure.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.